Have a wonderful Yontif. Sukkot is coming up, and we find the Gemara goes out of its way to describe the source for the measurements of a sukkah. I kid you not, the minimum measurement is 10 tefachim, and the Gemara does not spend 5 lines or 2 lines on the source for this. There are 2+ pages in detail, great detail. We're the source for the minimum of 10 tefachim. And we have 2 opinions, and it goes on for many pages. And there's something really remarkable about these 2 sources. One opinion the Gemara tells us is that the aron that holds the luchot in the Beis HaMikdash, the aron is 10 tefachim tall. Really, the base is 9 tefachim, and the cover, the kaporet, is 1 tefach. So you have 9 tefachim of the base, and then you have 1 tefach of the cover, 9 and 1, 10 tefachim to 10 tefach minimum. And the other opinion says no. The kaporet, the cover, is 1 tefach, and then the kruvim, those angels that came out of the cover, until the wingtip is another, from foot to wingtip is another 9. So you have the cover plus then foot to wingtip, another 1 plus 9, 10, and the 10 is from cover to tip, or from the bottom through and including the cover. 10 here or 10 there. And there's a huge debate. What are they arguing on? What's the machlokas? Perhaps we could use some understanding of this sugya to understand the power of sitting in a sukkah. Because they are debating if you are actually sitting in the Aron Kodesh, Ke'ilu, together with the Luchot, and Hashem comes to hover above you, because that hollow space between the Kruvim, above the Kaporet, above that cover, is exactly where God resides. So Kadosh Baruch Hu is exactly residing, resting on top of you when you are in the sukkah. Or you're actually together with God in that very same space. And maybe that's the debate. You're either with Hashem, or you act and serve as the base so that Hashem and the Jewish people can go together as one. Al Yisrael Gavato. Al Yisrael Malchuto. One of the poems we sing on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Upon Am Yisrael, God's Shekhinah rests upon Am Yisrael. Am Yisrael is the medium of Kiddush Hashem in the world, and then Hashem resides right upon us, and together we walk. Now there's an interesting idea here. We know that there's a double measure of simcha on Sukkot. What is the double measure, this extra simcha of Sukkot? So I'd like to suggest that when you encounter a Kadosh Baruch Hu, you have to be very careful. We know that there were times that we've had encounters with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it has not been all that wonderful, but rather fateful events. Nadav Avihu, they had a great idea. K'toret, Hashem loves K'toret. That's the Avodah on Yom Kippur. This is an all-time favorite. Hashem's going to love this one. And they go ahead and they bring K'toret. On the day of the dedication of the Mishkan, everyone is happy, dancing everywhere, great karbanot, and they bring this all-time favorite. It's just that it was at a place Hashem had not commanded that day, and Hashem kills them for it. And maybe the idea is, there's something called a chatas and an olah. An olah is closeness with Hashem. But a chatas is before getting that close. You have to know your place. You have to first check your ways. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to make sure that your ways have been scrutinized. You've done tshuva. You've thought about tshuva. That's a very important principle. And whenever you have an olah, a karban olah, you have a karban chatas. And the chatas precedes the olah. You have to first clean your ways, then you can jump into the olah. So maybe after a Yom Kippur experience where we've checked our ways and we've gone through the entire Yom Kippur experience, we've gone through the chatas, al chet shechatanu, so then you could go and enjoy the Olah, that connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu on such a level. So Sukkot is a time after you've humbled yourself, you've subjugated yourself to a recognition. I can't just jump into godliness, spirituality as I like. I have to take measure that maybe I'm a human. God is the king of the world. No one's place. Then you can enter, and it's beloved to enter either in the Aron and God is right there, or that you're actually hand in hand with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What an incredible and powerful concept when sitting in the sukkah. We're just blown away. You know, a lot of people have a funny idea about spirituality. There are people that say that they're very spiritual. I met a drugged fella in Washington Square Park once who explained to me the concepts of spirituality that he ascribes to. And I thought he was a crazy fella, actually. I didn't think spirituality was his thing. But he thought he was being spirituality, ruchnius, is knowing your place in the world, knowing your place in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It starts with humility, and then you could really rejoice once you understand who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. And one last point. In order to really connect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so you have to connect to all of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's people. And who are included in all of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's people? Every single person in the world. And we go ahead and we pick up the Daled Minim. And we have in the Daled Minim a lulav. And every leaf of the lulav is a double leaf. And the hadassim, the halach of the hadassim is that all the leaves have to cover the stem. They have to reach the bottom of the next row. So they lie upon each other. The esrog is a prietz hadar. Hadar comes from the word, according to one of the opinions in the Mishnah, that lives. It lives on the tree from year to year. The apples have a season, comes in the season. The oranges have a season. Every fruit has a season, except the esrog. You have the old ones and the young ones on the tree at the same time. You could have young, big, small. It could pop and sprout and blossom at any point. And you can have all these wonderful esrogim of different sizes, different levels of maturity, all on the tree at once. What does this mean? Came the Baal HaTanya and explained that the Daled Minim are all about achdos, about unity, about togetherness, about creating a simcha for everyone. And that is why the lulav is the way it is, a double leaf, we're all together. The hadassim, the leaves lie one upon the other. The arvos, the word itself means unity, together. The Kol Yisrael, and the esrog of unity, where the young and the old, all of them are different levels of maturity, are on the tree at the same time. Because you have a simcha with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you have a simcha with all of Am Yisrael, a representation of the whole world, all the different kinds of people in the world. That's the idea that the Gemara tells us, that this this of the species represents those that don't perhaps yet have mitzvos and Torah, that don't yet have a fulfillment of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in their lives. Yet they're included in the Daled Minim, because if I care about all of Am Yisrael, so then I have simcha together with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then when it comes time to sleep and eat and enjoy and just sit, it's in the sukkah together with HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence. So Mitzvah Hashem, when we this sukkahs, go ahead and encounter HaKadosh Baruch Hu's presence, and not just a tabernacle. We should be wowed. We should never want to leave the sukkah. We should be feel that embrace of HaKadosh Baruch Hu together with us. Chag Sameach.